Welcome to MEF Connects, and this time it's called MEF Connects ID and Oath. More on the title and what we're going to be talking about next. But it's a really warm welcome from myself. I'm Dario Betti. I'm the CEO of the Mobile Ecosystem Forum. It's a welcome to all of you here in our hall. Everybody from home as well, or in the office, I should say, online, as so many of you are joining from the different parts of the world. So big hello and good evening, good morning, as we know, different time zone that you might be. Today, we're talking on something that is very close to the heart of MEF, and has been for a long time, because we've been looking at the concept of identity and personal identity, I should say, for at least 12 or 14 years, depends on how you want to count it. But the great thing about this trade association, I'm a bit biased, is that we look at business and different type of businesses. Over the last few years, we have seen other identity concept emerging, and it came from the business. The enterprise communication community was really pointed out since 2016 that we have a problem with organizational identity. And that's really what we're going to talk today as well. And it doesn't stop here, because 2 years later, when we set up the IoT group in MEF, we then discovered that we had an identity for things issue there. So 3 identities. I'll tell you more as a very recent news, but our content group is now talking of how with AI and generative AI, etc., data might need to have identity too. Okay, enough. But today, really, we are celebrating the fact that we are bringing to you the first time a proper analysis, also organizational identity too. So this is one of the great things we're going to go into details. And by the way, the networking between all of these different identities together, excitement as it happens. I'm going to stop here. You've seen the agenda. There is a lot to talk. There are lots of exciting people to talk with here, to talk with online, do your text, your messages, ask your questions, and definitely that's on top of the speakers. So thanks for all of you participating. A couple of information of how the day is going to happen. You're probably all professionals about MEF Connects by now, but just a quick reminder that we're going to have a master ceremony, so you're going to be in the capable hands of Team Green from MEF, there we go, and a big thank you also goes to the guy that has worked. First of all, every month pushing our working group together for personal data and identity, but very big thank you for this event and thinking and behind it is Michael Becker. So you'll see as well. So, Michael Becker from MEF. Good. There are more people, more things you need to know about, including that you will see we have an illustrator out there, and so much of what we are writing, talking about, etc., is going to be visually represented and for later. But enough about me now. We need to hear from one of the founders, somebody who really knows MEF inside out and really knows this topic, as is also the CEO and founder of iProve, but here in his role as chairman of MEF, Andrew Budd. Please, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Dario, and welcome to the second in-person MEF Connects personal and identity event. I'd like to add my voice of thanks to Michael Becker and, in fact, to the whole MEF team for bringing this whole event together following last year's smash hit event. So we assembled today at what is really a pivotal moment in our industry, and in fact for the whole digital industry. A storm is coming. The advent of artificial intelligence will change everything. Michael asked me to quote myself, so I will. Generative AI is creating tools for us to interact with each other without actually being there. Just today, we read of an entrepreneur scammed out of nearly £500,000 by someone who looked and sounded exactly like a close friend of his, but wasn't. In future, we won't know whether we're engaging with a person or a machine, and that's going to be a problem. In the world of real people, accountability is vital in order to maintain social order and cohesion. Accountability permits retribution. which serves as a deterrent for offenders against repeating the act, a deterrent to other members of society who would rather avoid such unpleasant consequences, and it also satisfies an innate sense of justice amongst the wider community. But how can an AI machine, an AI bot, a machine, be held accountable? In future, therefore, it will become essential to have ways to prove authenticity and genuineness to a counterparty in almost every remote transaction. Proving the authenticity of a remote person will evolve from being a means of defense against money laundering and fraud into a tool, and a tool in enterprises' cyber defense, into a fundamental foundation of societal stability and the psychological well-being of its members. Well, today we're also seeing a rising tide, a tsunami of fraud based on social engineering of credentials and the compromise of supposedly secret data. It costs enterprises money and ruins people's lives. Age verification is becoming an imperative to protect children and enterprises. We, the members of our industry and of our community, have a responsibility, social as well as business, to combat it, and we can. A storm is coming. The advent of decentralized identity will change everything. It's been years in the making, and until recently was the mission of but a few technology prophets. But now the EU Digital Identity Wallet, eIDAS 2, the issuance of verifiable credentials by the state of California, and the progress on IATA's One Identity program is rapidly bringing it practically into the future for us all. As I've said before to MEF, it will require us all to change the way that we deal with customers and employees. It'll also bring new levels of personal privacy, but above all, it will bring new levels of societal cyber resilience. And not just for individuals. To keep society stable, to ensure unbroken chains of accountability, to combat fraud and money laundering, we need not just to hold physical persons, people, accountable, we need to hold legal persons, companies, accountable too. This has presented a huge challenge to regulators worldwide. Fortunately, the new science of decentralized identity will come to our rescue, providing tools to address these challenges. The agenda Michael has created for today brings all of these themes together in a uniquely engaging and informative way. And after this conference, once it's finished, please engage with MEF to turn some of today's thoughts into action. Thank you very much.